Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another video for you today, and we just received our Braum Racing bucket seat along with seat brackets from Planted Technologies and as well as the seat slider from Braum. So what we're going to do today is an unboxing of the seat, see what's included, and also we're going to do an install video. This seat is for the driver's side. I'm planning on keeping the OEM one on the passenger side and opting for this one for the driver's seat. So without further ado, let's break this box open. Right off the bat, we have a hat from Braum. Set this down right over here. And go ahead and pull the seat out. Now the seat is only 18 pounds. That's what it's rated for on the website. And this is the seat. Here. Put the seat on here. So the seat, wow, this feels really good. This padding, this material feels great. We got a little decal here on Braum, and looks like the seat cushion over here, this section looks like it's some type of perforated leather material, probably to help with wear. But this is light. This is really light. Show you guys the back of the seat. Covered this protective tape. Right now, looks like there's already hardware here on the mounting locations. Do a little test fit on it. Now I'm about 5'7.5", 180 pounds. Size 32 waist. So I do feel pretty secure in here, and the seat feels pretty comfortable and snug. I don't have much wiggle room at all on the sides, so I would say the seat fits perfect for somebody of my frame. Upper shoulders, good. Right here on the sides, it does feel really good. Like, I'm not over constrained, but at the same time, it's holding me pretty well. Like, I feel comfortable sitting in here. Also, the hip support and over here the thighs, it does feel pretty good. This is the main reason why I went to like a bucket seat compared to what I had before. The other Braum Racing seats that were reclinable, they were really good around here, around my sides and ribs. They had plenty of support there, but around my hips and thighs, it was pretty loose, and that's where I found myself sliding around a lot when tracking the car. So I wanted to get something with a little bit more support and lighter. I believe the other seats were about 22.5 pounds each, and this one is, like I said, 18 pounds. Now, compared to the stock seat, I'll do a weight comparison of the the driver's seat that is heated and power seats. We'll do a comparison in weight versus this one, and I'll give you guys a full weight once we have the seat brackets and the slider with the floor bracket installed as well. So we'll see what the total weight comes to for this seat with all the extra goodies on there. So I'm gonna get off the seat, and I also want to show you guys these brackets. Go ahead, head here. So these brackets are from Untitled Technologies. Braum recommended this company for their seats. So the seat's gonna mount. So these are pretty durable. You got a little bit of weight to it, but I also want to open up the slider, seat slider. I'll show you guys this. I haven't opened this one yet. I didn't open the brackets. There's a little bit of weight for the seat. This is a new line of seats for them. The name will be in the title of the video. Can't remember off the top of my head. These were on back order for quite some time. We had to pre-order the seats, so that meant waiting. I waited over 2 months to get the seat. Let's see. We got the handle. We pull, adjust the seat, and looks like the seat brackets, sliders are in here. Here we go. So they're pretty standard. I had these on my other seats that I got rid of, and they work pretty good for me. Also, I want to show you my grab over here off camera. You guys see the full package. So this is the bracket that gets mounted to the floor of the car, and then on top of this we have the sliders that go on here, followed by the brackets, and then the seat that goes on top of here. So last thing I want to do is want to scratch those, but alright, so on the next clip, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start removing the Oem seat and undoing all the connectors on the bottom there for the power seats, and as well as the seat belt connector, and all. I believe there's like 4 connectors down there for the Acura seats. I'm not sure what it is for the Civic. The Civic SI should be very, very close and similar to this process. So this install for you out there who have a Civic SI, a 9th gen, should be very similar to my Acura ILX. I finished installing the sliders to the floor bracket, and I kind of want to show you, it's a little bit tricky, but with the sliders, once you unbox them, you want to have this side is the one that faces up, and the flat side is the one that mates to the floor bracket. So what you want to do is you want to adjust this handle right here. So it's got a slight curve to it. I'll show you. So you'll see that bend. You want to have it point down, so when you pull up you have the little bit of leverage. And all that really is show you, it's not bolted up, it's just there's these holes here that go into these pins right there, and it just uses the tension. Hard to do with one hand, but once you got that side lined up, you just come over to the other side and push it in place. There you go. And then this plays a role. If I hold it down with my foot, activates the sliders. So Based on the floor bracket that you go with, what you want to do is get these sliders to go back and forth until you can line up the holes. You can see the hardware, how it's held on there. So every floor bracket is a little bit different, so you want to see what works, what lines up, and mine lined up with the outboard holes here on this floor bracket. So next thing you want to do, once you have this assembled and fastened down, you want to take these pieces, you want to pretty much pick a ride, I guess, a seat height that you want to go with. Probably start with a one slot in the center, bolt this up to your seat, and then once you have that done, you come over here and you see where it lines up with the holes in the back. So it looks like that one right there for me. It looks like it's the center one over here. So again, to fasten this down, you're gonna get the slider to shift forward or backwards so you can get the nut on the bottom side of that. So I got the bracket bolted to the seat. So like I said, over here I went with this slot that was right in the center. Give this one a try. And on the back, I went with the second hole on the bracket. Pretty much I gave it a little bit of an angle. What I was told is with fixed back seats and you're planning on tracking the car, you want to have a little bit of an angle on the seat when it's bolted. If it's laying flat, you might have the tendency to slide forward during heavy braking. Alright guys, so I finally got the whole assembly complete, and to be honest, it does take a lot of fiddling trying to line up all the holes and the brackets. I did need to make 2 new holes on this floor bracket right here because I had this slot here lined up for me with a slider, but the back did not, so I had to punch a new hole to get everything fastened down. But you see the side is all set up, and again, we might need to make some changes to it based on the height and the seating position and all that. See how it is, how I like it, and from there get everything tightened down and assembled. So at this point I weighed the seat. This seat, 18 pounds plus all the hardware, brackets and slider, came to a total of 36 pounds. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna also weigh the Oem Seat and see what the weight difference is. But yeah, 36 pounds total. Now we're just gonna take the tape measure, take some measurements of how the seat sits and see where it's gonna fall into the seat position once it's in the car. And if we gotta make more changes, we will. But next, the process is removing the Oem Seat. Okay, so the first step in removing the seat off the ILX is your floor bolts. There's 4 of them, 2 in the front and 2 located in the back, and those are 14mm bolts. And then once you get those removed, let me slide the seat forward. Make sure you don't unplug any of the wires underneath. There's the other ones in the back. You gotta pop off this trim piece. Looks just like this. And once you do that, you expose this bolt right here for the seat belt. You gotta remove that, and you gotta attach that to the floor bracket on the new seat. So with everything out, you can see the connector down here. So there was 4, these 3, and the one to the seat belt. And these are the holes the bolts went into, the other 2 back here. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna transfer the seat belt to the aftermarket seat bracket and get that bolted up so we can drop the new seat in here. So we got the Oem seat out. The next thing to do on this one is this bolt right here to remove the seat belt clicker. You remove that and then transfer that over to the other seat, and I'll show you where that goes on mine. Here it is now, all connected. We still have the wire dangling, which we're gonna do our best to zip tie all the wires together with that harness so they're not flopping all over the floor of the car. And yeah, so I went ahead and I put this last time I had the seats in, so this gets a little bit close to the center console, and to prevent center console from getting scratched, I put this little felt on here to, when it rubs on there, it doesn't scratch it. But you guys can see it does stick out a little bit much, so we'll see how everything fits in there, and I'll give you guys a sneak peek. We got the seat installed, and this will be a review of the Falcon R Series fixed back bucket seat from Braum. You guys can see that. So again, I'm 5'7" and roughly about 180 pounds. I fit snug in here. I'm planted. So we got the angle adjusted properly to my liking of the seat, and now I tried it out with the helmet, and I'm about 4 finger height of space available, and with the helmet I'm not bumping my head to any of the bolts, you know, the headliner at all, so I got plenty of room. And with that said, once I get the seatbelt fixed, the situation with the latch settled, everything will be great. But I wanted to give you guys a little brief review of the seat. I've been driving on it for just about a day now with it in bumpy Michigan roads, and the seat is pretty comfortable. If it fits your body good, it can be pretty comfortable, and it does a good job holding you in place, and you're not sliding around at all. So the specs call out for up to 34 size waist, and I can say that's pretty correct. If I wear a jacket, I'll be pretty uncomfortable in this seat, but with a light sweater, you're fine. You're not gonna have any issues at all. But if you're gonna daily drive the car, the issue I'm running into is getting in and out with the steering wheel. Every time I have to get in or out of the car, I have to make sure the steering wheel is all the way in and up position. It just makes it the exit and that much easier trying to get in and out of the car. The seat feels comfortable. Short drives, I haven't tested out long drives, but long as I've sat in it is about 30 minutes while driving, and felt pretty comfortable. And I did weigh the Oem seat to compare it to the new seat. So the Oem seat came to about 22 pounds heavier than this setup right now. So I'm happy with it. 22 pounds of weight reduction is not bad. And not only do I feel like I'm in a better seat, but it's a little bit of load off the car. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. If you guys are in the market for a bucket seat, it's not gonna break the bank. I've been pretty happy with this one so far. And the install was pretty easy. So yeah, I highly recommend this seat to anybody looking for a fixed back one. I mentioned during the drive the issue I was having with the seatbelt latch, and I kind of want to show you guys. If you see how tight that space is, well, not only is it tight, the length of the arm on the seatbelt latch is not long enough to come up here if you're planning on using the seatbelt. So one solution is running a belt clip extender for the seatbelt, where it latches on to your OEM one, and from there you can, you know, gives you a little access up here. Or what I'm having done is making a custom arm for that seatbelt latch and having it long enough where it's gonna pop up right over here. And also, it's not gonna have a bend to that arm. That arm has a slight bend to it, to where it's, like I mentioned, it was rubbing really hard against the center console. If you can see where that mounting location is down there, it's really close to the center console. So any bend to that arm is gonna rub hard. And the new arm I'm getting made is gonna come straight up. It's not gonna get in the way to the center console. And I will show you guys what that one looks like. Like I mentioned in a later clip.